Who bought what on Amazon Day, and revisiting an old iPad. This is Mac Voices. Today's Mac Voices is supported by Mac Voices After Dark. What happens before the show starts and after we sign off? Informative, fun, and completely off-script conversations. That's what. Mac Voices After Dark is an exclusive benefit for our Patreon subscribers. Sign up now at patreon.com/MacVoices. Welcome to Mac Voices. This is the talk of the Apple community, and I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, this is Mac Voices Live. It's Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, whatever time that is, wherever you are. You should be with us at youtube.com/MacVoicesTV. We have a bunch of our friends already in the chat, including a missing panel member who had another obligation tonight, but he stuck his head in there to say hello. We would love to have you join us next time, because if you're not seeing this live, then obviously you can't possibly join us. So put it on your calendar for next Tuesday. Yeah, that made perfect sense, didn't it?
Yeah, I know. I'm rolling with it there.
Yeah, exactly. But put it on your calendar for next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, or whatever time that is wherever you are, and join us, because we always have a ball. And you might notice that things look a little bit different tonight, because we had a number of our panelists who were unable to join us because they had prior obligations. So we're just going to go around the room and deal with what we have here, which I'm not.
You're just digging that hole deeper and deeper, Chuck.
No, I wasn't referencing anybody in particular, but since you brought it up, Guy Cyril, it's good to have you. You're taking David Ginsburg's place and in the corner of the angels on my screen.
No one can take David Ginsburg's place. We miss you, Dave.
Yes,
and thanks for having me, Chuck.
It's always a pleasure. We do miss Dave. We know he'd rather be here than doing what he's doing. But
but if someone was going to be here and take his spot, I'm glad it's me. There, I'll just get that right out of the way.
Yeah, that works. That works. Over in the other corner of my screen, Brian Flanagan Arthurs made a special effort to get here because he's traveling. So he's at an undisclosed location in a hotel room. Brian, good to have you.
Thank you. So good to be here.
No tie tonight, Brian?
No, vacation mode.
Oh, vacation mode.
Nice.
All right. I'm waiting to see you sip a margarita.
All right. Maybe some water for now.
Yeah. Right on cue. Ben Rathig has joined us. Ben, it's always great to have you. What's going on?
Hopefully lots of Apple stuff.
Well, we have a few things to talk about. No question about it. Yeah. Next up, this time, Hypertext, also known as Jim Ray. Jim, good to have you.
Welcome. Or something. That's your line.
Yeah, that's my line. So, Jim is confused about where he is.
Yeah, whose line is it anyway?
Dave's not here, so no, wait. I'm Dave.
Last but absolutely not least, sporting a bright red shirt tonight, Mr. Webb Bixby.
Hi, Chuck. How are you? Very good. Thank you. Thanks for letting me be here tonight. I don't have anything else to do, so.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Webb.
Yeah.
We're back up.
That sure makes us feel special.
We're sorry, Webb. We're sorry.
I was thinking about when Jim's saying that Dave's not here, I was thinking about that old Cheech and Chong routine. So.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
We have a number of things to get to tonight, but I wanted to call an audible here. It kind of creeped in at the last minute because I honestly forgot that it was one of the big Amazon shopping days, the first of two. And so I thought we might just ask if anybody here purchased anything today that as a result of that. Normal purchases, fine. But did anything drag you in? And Brian, I saw your hand go up right away.
Yeah, I found actually a few things. A couple items that I needed anyways. It was great that they were on sale. And then a couple others that caught my eye and went ahead and made the purchase. And with Amazon, if it doesn't end up working out, I suppose I could return it. But I found, let's see, let me put one of them here in the chat. I found some new security cameras. I think it's maybe a model year old. It's the 1080p version of the eufy security cameras. And I've been kind of moving towards a little bit more HomeKit. For my security camera stuff, I'm mostly on stuff that runs on Amazon. And I'm kind of moving more so towards HomeKit compatible. So this kind of moves me in that direction. And for $129, looks like I can get 2 additional cameras for my setup. Then I found a couple of just some surge protector bars. And the last one in particular that was interesting for Apple was I've been meaning to get a MagSafe compatible charging bank. And so I found one from Anker, real good deal there for $20. Something I can slap on the back of the phone and be able to get a little extra battery charge there in the middle of the day. I'm still using my 13 mini, which, out of the box is a smaller battery anyways. So now, a couple of years old, it's, the battery health is deteriorating a little bit. This just kind of helps me bridge maybe for another year as I consider updating then. So, yeah.
Okay. If you get a chance, especially throw the Anker one in the chat so we can share it, because Anker's a mixed blessing. Anker does every product is great, but the problem is there's so many of them that, which one is it that you're talking about? Yeah. You can't just go and say, oh yeah, get an Anker power bank, because they probably have 7 different models. Again, not a bad thing. It's just a challenge when you're referencing things.
Sure. I think I put both of those in. I'll also throw in the other 2 that I found, just some surge bars that were just a really good deal. And I had one of them go out on me. So just more like a replenishment type thing. But again, just glad it's a good deal and really helps out.
Absolutely. Yeah, sometimes those are, all the sites write up the big savings things the way they see them. But a lot of times it's the little stuff that I just threw a bunch of stuff in the chat room from Brian. It's the smaller stuff that you can get, save some money on and sort of fill in holes where you have them in your gear. Guy, you're up. You said you bought stuff or something.
Yeah, just 2 items. One is some new beach sandals from Durham. I know it's not very tech related, but see, I have a special problem when it comes to shoes, as with most things in my life. Number 1, I have flat feet and so need arch support. And number 2, I wear size 16. Put both of those together, and it means that I have lots of trouble finding shoes. But there's a company called Durham that has some nice beach sandals that I guess with winter on the way, they've decided that they can kind of cut their prices, but it's 18% off the Durham men's Nolan WF sandals. And there's a link in there. The other thing I got, I'm still on currently the 1st gen Apple AirPod Pros, which I have in my ears right now. And I had kind of resisted getting the new ones because it was like, well, these are good enough. And, the battery life is still okay, not great, but I'll just deal with them until there's a compelling reason to get more or get a new pair. And it just so happens when they came out and were USB-C, it was like, I was like this close to just saying, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do it. But I still didn't until the Amazon Prime deals came up, and they are now 24% off for Apple AirPod 2 Pros, $189, 24% off. So they are in my cart, and I'm going to be pressing those and hopefully getting them in my hot little hands pretty soon.
So were you talking about the Lightning or the USB-C?
USB-C.
Oh, that is a good deal.
Yep, 24% off.
Okay. Happily, I don't have the need. While I'd like to have the USB-C case, it's not a big deal because this case charges just fine.
Sure. And it'll charge wirelessly as well, just like the USB-C one will.
Yeah, exactly. So, but if you're in the market, And the AirPods Pro really, I mean, I'm wearing mine now. They really do make a difference. I've been super impressed by the noise cancellation and the difference it makes, and the fact that I can tell the S Lady to turn them on or turn it on or turn it off, and the difference that makes right away.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's very, very impressive. Ben, Jim, you guys partake of anything on Amazon?
Well, Chuck, I too forgot it was Amazon Prime Day.
Okay.
I was kind of confused because I saw some things and I'm like, I've been having a lot of stuff going on in my life. So, and I was like, we just had Amazon Prime Day. So, so apparently I guess this is really another one I should look into.
Yeah, I've gotten into the habit of keeping a list of things that, I want to buy at some point. Don't have to have them right now. And so on days like this, that's the time I go through and see if there are any decent deals on them. And, if there are, great. And if not, well, I'll just continue to wait, because I still think
this has been one of those days that I didn't really even get to check my email until 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, same.
Understood. Mark Fuccio has joined us with an unfortunate background. I say unfortunate because of why he has it there. Mark, it's good to see you. And yeah, it just reminds you that as much fun as we have here, there are a lot of people that are not having fun in the Middle East.
Nope.
Yes, good to be here with you tonight.
Yeah.
Have we started, or are we still in?
Oh no, we have launched. We have launched, and
yes.
we're talking. No, it's all right. We're talking about what any of us have purchased during whatever Amazon's shopping holiday is. I don't know that they call this Prime Day, but
big deal day. Prime big deal days.
Big deal. Yeah, I think you're right, Guy. I think it is a big deal. So did you add to Amazon's coffers, Mark?
I did not, but my wife did. She's been talking to me about, my iPhone, case, getting a little bit ratty, and she gave me a gift of a new iPhone case.
Very nice. Very nice. Any particular kind, or did she purchase it on function or form?
It's basically the same cases that we've had before. She's had like 3 of these cases on different phones, and for me it would be my second case. So I forget the name of it, but we're very happy with it. It has a little bit of a kickstand. It comes with a adapter, so you can put it on a belt, but that's not my use case. I just stick it in the pocket. But she loves to put it on her belt when she's out walking and things, and so it's versatile.
Good.
Unfortunately, I don't remember the name of it, or I'd give people a recommendation.
No, not a problem. Not a problem. If you find it or think of it, throw it in the chat later, and I'll add it to the show notes.
Sure.
Webb, did you talk about what you helped me buy? Thank you very much. But did you buy anything for yourself?
The only thing that I bought today was a little power brick that has some USB-C and USB-A ports on it. So that was it. Not a big deal. So I have this new office that I have set up, and I just need something to, I got some things that require a micro USB connector. Some require a USB-C connector. That's all the rage. And then I still got some things that have a Firewire or a Thunder Lightning connector. That's the one. So I just need some to keep things charged up. So that's the only thing that I bought today.
Okay, so may I pry and ask, what web did you help Chuck buy?
Give me just a second. I'll show you. When I set up this office, I got a new webcam. It's what is InstaLink 360 or Insta360 Link, so I can do things like this. Whoa, there you go. So it's just a camera that's on a gimbal. Just moves around. So it's a 4K camera. I really like it, and Chuck, I'll let you tell everybody why you got it, but that's why. But I haven't. And I've been really pleased with it.
Yeah, well, I should explain because I've been super satisfied. And oh shoot, throwing stuff into the wrong chat room. I've been really super satisfied with using Camo as my. There we go. As my and my iPhone as my camera of choice, but it seems like I do enough on camera that it's just a very little bit of a hassle to set it up, hook it up, get it, on the mount just right so it's level and all and at the right distance. And so I've been looking at webcams, and Webb had told me he got this particular one, the Insta360 link, several weeks ago, I guess. And I'm watching his picture, and I mean, it looks great. And so I figured, and I know I talked to the Insta360 people at CES this year. They always just make great gear. So this was, I forget now, I think it was 20% off, but it was $50 off. So I figured that's not a bad deal. And should it not work out for my purposes, I can, as
send it back.
Brian said, return it. But I have a pretty good idea I'm not going to. The one question I asked Webb that I couldn't find immediately in the literature was, does it have a thread mount for a tripod? Which it does.
Yeah.
So
quarter inch.
Yep.
Yeah. So I know it'll hang over the top of the monitor. I'm going to see how that works. And this is a 4K pan tilt zoom camera, so I'm anxious to play with that because I really haven't had one of those before. So
I think that deal is actually Insta360 is having their own deal. It's not a Prime related deal.
I mean, it was the same.
I got an email from, because I have a Insta360 camera, so I got an email from them. They're selling a bunch of their stuff, and it's, I think, for a week.
Okay. Well, the deal was the same because I did double check their website, and the deal's the same both places as far as price goes. So Amazon,
the email they sent was like, you can go to Amazon or you can, but I'm saying they're doing it outside of the whatever this Amazon big Prime thing is.
Prime Day,
It's not. It's so I think it goes longer than that.
So that means, folks, if you see this in time, by all means, check it out. I can't say it's a great camera. I'm sure it will be because it's Insta360, but just take a good look at Webb and see how nice and crisp and clear his picture is. And then factor in the fact that we are channeling this through Zoom at basically 720p. And you'll get an idea of just how good the signal is. So you will hear more from that once I get it in my hot little hands. Other than that, I really, I bounced along, but I didn't see anything that tempted me enough. And there was nothing on my wish list that had just an, oh my God, this is a phenomenal price. So I just went with what I got. So hopefully we help some people maybe spend a little money, since Webb did that for me. Thank you, Webb.
Yeah. And Mr. Ginsburg helped me pick out lights and stuff like that. So we all share. We all give a little.
Yeah. Isn't that sad?
Or take a little. Yeah.
Hey, that's what bar friends at the bar are like. And this is kind of a virtual bar.
Yeah. Good point. I wanted to share one other thing that happened to me. Actually, it happened today. And it's a lot. The background is kind of a long, unrelated story, or not necessary for this. But I have a 2016 iPad Pro that I pulled out for the first time in a while, charged it up, holds the charge beautifully, no problems at all. This one can't be upgraded to iOS 17. It only goes up to 16.7, I think, or whatever it is. But I was honestly surprised. I mean, it looks great. It functions just fine. But I was surprised at how slow the interface felt as opposed to my current ones. And if I step back and say...
That's an A12, isn't it?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah. And so, and you don't think that these new chips are making a difference until you until you put something like that side by side, and it's like, wow, I remember when this was like, a rocket, and now it just feels not bad, and certainly more than usable, but it just feels sluggish compared to what I've become used to.
Yeah, it's amazing what happens when your mobile devices are running desktop cores.
Well, that's true too. That's true too. But for the fun of it, I went to one of the sites to see what I could get for it, and now keep in mind, yes, it's a 2016, but at the same time, it's a 9.7 inch, 256 gigs of RAM. They would only give me $130 for it.
You'll be lucky to get that.
Yeah. So, and I kind of figured for $130, I can certainly make use of it for other things here. So
yeah, media player.
So is this Wi-Fi only, or does it have cellular?
Good question. Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Only Wi-Fi.
And it was 9.7, you said?
9.7.
Okay.
Yeah, I turned in my so I had the 2018 iPad Pro 12.9 with cellular, and for my birthday last month, I figured, it's now 5 years old, more or less. I'm going to splurge a little bit, so I went ahead and got a brand new 12.9 inch iPad Pro with cellular, and they gave me, I think it was like $330 for the 2018 model. And yeah, I probably could have set it up to do something more, but at the same time, my wife already has her own iPad, and it was like, it was just going to be one more thing to keep track of. So I just went ahead and turned it in for the 330, and got my 12.9 M1 iPad Pro, and I'm pretty happy with that decision, and it'll probably last me for another good 5-6 years. And that's, really, when you get down to it, that's one of the things that we buy Apple products for, is their longevity. And every single time this time of year, when the new iPhones come out and, some of the new devices come out, some people go ahead and upgrade every year. I didn't. I stayed with the iPhone 13 because the battery life is still good, and everything that I need it for, it's doing great. So it's now 2 years old, and I can take the money that I would have spent toward an iPhone 15 and say, okay, I'll just kind of fast forward, push that into the future, and maybe I'll get an iPhone 16.
Yes. So on this, was it Ben someone commented on what processor? I just checked Mac Tracker, which is a great app that you all should use.
Yeah, I said I thought it was an A12.
No. It's an Apple A9X.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, based on a 16 nanometer process. So that is, really ancient history. So, question for you, Chuck: what led you to fire it up? Is there some problem you're hoping to address this to solve?
No, I had a situation where I needed to display a particular piece of information, and I know it sounds insane with the screens in back of me, but I really didn't have a convenient place to put it. I needed it right beside my other iPad. And so I fired this up and thought, well, this is perfect. And it works great. So other than the fact that now it's not being updated to the most current OS, I could easily go back and use this for pretty much anything I do with an iPad. But it just, the story here for me was just how much progress has been made speed-wise with the interface, and how just sluggish it felt.
How many iPads do you have?
That's a military secret.
Okay. So we know you have at least two.
So how many?
Yes. I have at least three, because I do have a mini as well. So
okay.
Well, we'll leave it at that.
Okay.
But it also, it's also a good lesson for folks that unless you have a real need for it, trade it in, get the value, and do what Guy did and just keep on moving.
Yeah.
Or keep it like I did this one, and I just plan to run this one into the ground.
Well, good luck. Good luck. Some of these Apple products, they just like they used to say with the old Timex watches, they take a licking and keep on ticking.
Keep on ticking.
Yeah. And, that's not, I don't think that's a bad thing, because when I missed the window for the best trade-in. And so now at $130 with this gorgeous screen. And by the way, this is the iPad that I have used as a camera for a lot of my CES and NAB coverage for really since. And Macstock until last year. So because it's a 4K camera. So it's fantastic. And obviously it's got a 9.7 inch viewfinder because it's an iPad. So, it's a fine piece of kit. You just have to have the right use for it. The panel is back next time on Mac Voices to examine the AI provisions of the agreement in the writer's strike and how far they go. I'm Chuck Joyner. I'll see you next time. As always, thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with Mac Voices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you Mac Voices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.